Hey guys, I'm Trevor here with the Coming With You Live, your leading expert in natural pain management, also other chronic diseases. Want to talk to you today about getting into a routine. Now, this routine I'm talking about is, yes, back to school, back to school, back to school, back to school. Like I said it over and over again, everyone is actually getting to that routine. Either they're back in school in some places, or they're getting ready to, go back into school. Last week of vacations for some individuals. Some are actually getting ready for their first vacation from school. So I want to have everyone understand the importance of actually being in a good routine, especially the kids and also the parents as well. One, to help alleviate stress, but also helping to understand the importance of maximizing the opportunity to actually have the maximum benefits for nutritional balance and things like that. So I'm going to jump into the reason why having a routine as far as let's start with just taking supplements. I have a lot of questions about individuals asking me, when should I take supplements? How should I take supplements? Should it be on an empty stomach? Should it be, taken with food or water or, different things like that. So I'm trying to run this down for you really quick. Probiotics is something that's got a lot of information about them over the last, let's say, 5 to 10 years. And probiotics are something that's still kind of under the microscope and trying to help individuals understand why they're important. But for the most part, it's going to help you have a good gut flora, and also your entire digestive tract has a flora in there that has to be balanced out as well. The best time to really take a probiotic is really actually in the morning when you first wake up on an empty stomach. And the reason why is because of the fact that if you lay there anywhere from 6, hopefully for at least 7 to 9 hours getting sleep, your tract should be nice and clean, actually ready to be evacuated. Basically means that you should have a bowel movement. So you should have no interference with that at all. So if you take the probiotic, it's going to do its maximum amount of work early in the morning. It's going to help you digest that food and help keep pushing it down as well on a empty stomach. Now, if you start to take things along with it, it can dilute it down, or we as a medical physicians may have you take it at different times or more frequently. But the best time we see is actually in the morning on an empty stomach. Another vitamin is actually pretty good that you should have in the morning is going to be, we call them adaptogens, or things that we're saying to help you to deal with stress. We say in the morning, but more so around between the 10 and 12 o'clock range. And the reason why is because your cortisol levels, the cortisol is that natural hormone that helps you to have, let's say, more adrenaline, things like that. So I don't want to call it the stress hormone anymore. There's a lot of research that shows the benefits of having cortisol, and the fact that it's just the fact that we tend to overuse the cortisol, but adaptogens help you actually use your cortisol in a maximum capacity where you're not overusing, you're also not underusing. So it really helps your body to adjust to stress. So I usually tell my patients, again, you can take that right before a meal, and actually between 10 and 12 o'clock. That's when your natural cortisol levels start to sort of die down and go down. That's usually also around the time that people tend to reach for that second morning cup of coffee, or just that little pick-me-up and things of that sort. And it's been shown that actually if you take your adaptogens between that time, that second cup of coffee or the third cup of coffee in the afternoon, or the energy drink you need between that 2 and 3 o'clock range, you'll actually start to go away with that, and you tend to have more energy throughout the entire day as well. A few things, let's say, I'm sorry, I have my little cheat sheet right here. It actually crinkled up, so I really have to look down at it. I truly apologize about that. Antioxidant. Antioxidants is something that you all should definitely take with food, and you should actually do that with one of your big meals of the day. I usually tell people don't do it at breakfast. I say do it at lunch, or possibly, preferably at dinner. That way, as you're at home, you're sleeping and things like that, so your body will use those antioxidants at the fullest degree to allow your body to really absorb those antioxidants and really do that cellular repair it's supposed to do as well. The other thing, antioxidants is a huge group of them, but if you have that multi-antioxidant bottle at your house, that's the appropriate one to actually have as well. Another one that we actually have individuals asking about really is these protein powders, and I'm not a huge fan of protein powders. I don't care if it's a protein, vegan protein or plant-based protein or whatever. I'm just not a huge fan of the actual protein powders themselves. And people think that the super juice blend that we have here is a protein powder. It's not. It's only a super juice blend. I'll get into that in a second. But protein powders, if you really are going to do those, study shows that if you are going to do it, you should do that on when you have some substance inside your stomach. You shouldn't do that on a complete empty stomach, altogether. And the reason why, because again, you need other enzymes inside your system to really break down, that protein, so you can actually maximize the usage of it as well. We find a lot of people that they are taking first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and they're not really maximizing the benefits of the actual protein. What tend to happen is inside a lot of these, especially workout shakes, they have these energy boosting things, and they have the protein in there, they have all these things mixed together. So you're not really getting the benefit of the protein. You really just getting the benefit of the energy things they actually put inside there. So it's making you feel as if you're doing, a lot of good for your body. But again, post workout, if you have that protein shake by itself, it can actually help you out a lot better than having it again on an empty stomach. That's been shown over and over again. Individuals that tend to eat a lot of protein tend to be a lot more thirsty, because again, you need more liquid to break down that protein. Even if you eat an animal protein, but in a protein shake is actually more is more critical, because again, it's in that powder form, so you got to rehydrate that protein and those amino acids to allow your body to absorb those. So you need to drink a lot of water behind that. Same thing if you're drinking and eating having a B vitamin as well. You really got to make sure that you're having a lot of water with these B vitamins. I will even throw a zinc in there, even though it's not a B vitamin, and also zinc as well. A lot of individuals ask me about zinc. I myself, if I take zinc, I take it at night, and I tell a lot of people to take it at night before you go to bed as well, with a lot of water. We've been having people say, that they get upset stomach and things like that. So it's used because of the fact that you don't have enough water in your system to actually absorb the zinc. The zinc is an elemental zinc, which is a natural form of zinc. So you need a lot of water to actually absorb that as well. And you won't have that whole queasiness inside your stomach. I say drink at least 2 or 3 ounces of water before you take it, and then once you take it, take another 2 or 3 ounces of water after you take it as well. And for kids, you can do maybe 1 or 2 ounces before, and then 1 or 2 ounces after you actually take the zinc as well. Calcium, magnesium, you definitely want to take those while you actually are. Before you actually go to sleep, you want to actually take the calcium, magnesium. It's sort of the same reason about the absorption rate, as well as making sure that your body is getting the maximum benefit. Because again, you got to realize that some of these things you actually are taking, as you're taking them during the day, you're either going to urinate them out, or you're going to sweat them out, or your body won't be able to actually maximize them, because you're moving around and you're using the muscle, especially with calcium, magnesium. You'll definitely use a lot of that stuff as well. So what you want to do essentially is you want to make sure that you actually are taking a lot of these things before you go to sleep. That way your body is nice rest, and you're going to maximize everything as well. I was going to get back to the green juice, and almost any green juice, if it doesn't have protein, and I want to throw it out there, if it doesn't have protein, you want to definitely take that on an empty stomach. And the reason why is these green juices, especially like spirulina and blue-green algae and chlorella and all these things, they're designed to they actually are food. So you want to make sure that when you're taking them, you have at least 8 to 12 ounces of them, especially with ours. We said definitely have between 8 and 10 to 12 ounces of it inside of water, or a juice and things of that sort, and just drink it straight down. And we like for the water to be kind of cold as well. The reason why it goes down smoother, it mixes in a lot better, but your absorption rate of this actually increases at least 3 times. So the reason why I say without protein is sort of the same reason I was telling you with the protein. You really don't need to have the extra amount of protein inside there, because again, a lot of the green juices actually have a lot of different amino acids inside there that eventually will turn into proteins as well. But you want to have that with one of your big meals of the day. And I tell people you can have it with your lunch, and especially ours. I tell people it's not a meal replacement. It's something that if you're eating, let's say junk food, or you're not eating very well, or whatever, or what you're eating doesn't have a high nutrient content, or you haven't eaten a high nutrient content, that's why we want you to have these greens in your system. They're going to add a high nutrient content inside your system and allow your body to absorb as many nutrients as possible. Now, also the other thing is you got to remember that phytonutrients are the building blocks of almost any medicine out there. So the reason why it's important for you to have these plant-based nutrients, or these phytonutrients, is the fact that you're getting, all the anti-inflammatory effects of things. You're getting all of the, the oxidative stress enhancers. You're getting all of the different gene inhibitors that can actually create cancer or create pain or create diabetes, and you actually filling your body up with these things on a daily basis. So that's why it's important for all these phytonutrients to really be inside your system on a daily basis. And again, our diets are usually lacking in a lot of these things as well. So that's just a few tips here and there. I hope it gives you a good guide for you and also your family as well. The other routine I want to speak about beyond just the supplementation is making sure that you guys are in a good regimen of when you're going to hydrate yourselves as well. And notice how I'm sort of doing is like I have a lot of people who they'll drink a lot in the morning because when they first wake up they think about it, and then I have some people that say I haven't drank anything until like maybe 4 o'clock, and I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning. So that's like you're walking around in the entire day being dehydrated. We all have smartphones these days. We all have ways to alert ourselves of almost any notification. Program yourself. Program, your kids' phones, just, a simple alarm or a funny alarm or whatever it is, and they'll trigger yourself to actually drink water or take a supplement, different things like that. Get into a routine of making sure that you're stay hydrated, especially when the school day comes along, or especially when the school comes along, and it sort of shifts your schedule away from, the actual summer schedule. I know for us, our kids have been in school for almost 2 weeks now, and it's a vast difference, and I thought, oh, no, it won't be that much different. Even for me, it's a huge difference. So I had to, sort of put alarms here and there to sort of say, okay, do this, do that, to make sure I'm doing my daily routine. Also, I'm making sure they're having their daily routine. I said in the Facebook Live last week, my youngest son actually got sick because he was dehydrated because he was just so used to, always being around water, always being in a setting that he, get water whenever he needed to, and he wasn't able to do that. So he actually ended up getting sick because he was actually dehydrated. He was second, third day of school. Now, I live here in South Florida, and it was like 90 degrees outside, and he running around outside during recess. He was completely dehydrated when he came home. He ended up having a slight fever that we battled for a couple of days because, or whatever. But those are some of the things that would happen, especially the first few days of school. And all you parents know that, these kids are not going to drink efficiently and effectively, or they'll be drinking the incorrect things, the sodas and juices, things of that sort. So just make sure that when you first wake up in the morning, you have them drink at least 6 to 8 ounces of water. I actually give my kids different types of herbal teas that they actually like. They choose, and I say, okay, well, this is a way for it. I know that they'll get some vitamin C, and they'll get some sort of phytonutrients inside their system. And yes, I each have I break apart, especially my younger two, the super juice blend, and they have some of that as well. I actually have it diluted down a little bit for them because it can be too strong for a kid. So I'll give them like maybe half of a scoop, especially my 4, 5, and 6-year-old. And my teenagers, I'll actually have them have a full scoop or maybe 3/4 of a scoop each to make sure that, again, they have their phytonutrients. And, we see the results. Like once my son was able to rehydrate himself and be effective with that, he feels better. He had the same energy level bouncing off the walls again. But it's little things like that, make sure you have that. And then once they come home, again, have them rehydrate themselves. Yeah, again, they've been to school, how long is school? 6 hours, 7 hours, and things like that. We're going to make sure that they're rehydrating themselves. Even if they didn't drink effectively in that time frame, make sure that as soon as they get home, they're able to rehydrate themselves with something that has a lot of good nutrients inside there. This is very, very important because I told you before in many Facebook Lives ago, that about being dehydrated is one of the main reasons why individuals have hypertension, can actually have diabetes, and also from a sickle cell standpoint, one reason why most of the sickle cell patients actually are in pain on a daily basis, they're not hydrating themselves efficiently or effectively with things that have the proper electrolytes or nutrients inside of it. That's one reason why I'm a huge fan of drinking different teas that I know have different phytonutrients inside of as well. And last but not least, the different routine that I want to speak about is really going to be sleep. You got to understand, sleep is one of the most, underappreciated things I think that we do, because sleep is really, designed to make sure that that's when we repair ourselves, we rehabilitate our body, and it's a way that we make sure that, we're sleeping phenomenally. I'm always speaking about these glasses I have on. Again, I don't wear corrective lenses at all. These are a blue light blocking glasses. On any electric device I'm on, I make sure I have these on. My kids have them, the wife has them, the office staff, I bought everyone a pair of them, so I spend money in these things often. Actually, I forgot, Jameson, I'm gonna order yours today. I forgot. An employee of ours, he's actually online right now, so sorry about that. But I try to order as many these as possible because of the fact that it's been shown that these blue lights that's being emitted by these electronics. I know all you guys are electronics, and most of you are looking at this on electronic, and your kids are electronics on a daily basis, but they emit this blue light, and this blue light has been shown to actually reduce the rate of your production of natural melatonin. That's that sleep hormone that we always say, taking melatonin, whatever, by 86%. So if you're looking at electronics, so you already possibly have insomnia, or you're not getting a good quality of sleep. And by not having a good quality of sleep, you're reducing the amount of brain function you're having on a daily basis. Now, it's been shown, I've said this before, that if you're not sleeping properly, say for instance, you're only sleeping like 6 hours a night, you're walking around as if you and your kids, if they're not sleeping well as well, you're walking around as if you're having 2 beers every day. So if you're waking up and having 2 beers and you're going to work, do you think you'd be able to function on a daily basis? Yeah, you'd be a happy person, but your production level would not be what it should be. And if you're sleeping anything less than 5 hours, you're walking around as if you're only, you're walking around as if you're drinking a 6-pack to a 12-pack of beer. So you're not working to your full capability. And like I said before, why would you want to send yourself or even your kids out if you're not sleeping effectively or not giving them the best opportunity to survive out here in this world? Okay, so that's why I say sleep is very, very important. So these blue light blockers, or reduce the amount of time you're actually on these things. I know from an Android standpoint that I love my Samsung, I'm not gonna lie, but we have a blue light filter on our phones around here because of the fact that it comes with it. I know with Apple, I think it has like the night mode, and it does put a blue light or put some sort of filter over it as well that helps you, help your eyes out and things of that sort. So that, will actually help. But I tell patients all the time, an hour before you go to bed, or, if you say that you go to bed at 11 o'clock, by 10 o'clock, you should be off all electronics, all of them, and the reason why is because you want to give your body a chance to actually naturally come down. You shouldn't be watching bed. You should be in bed watching television. I said this before. Your bedroom and your bed is only designed for you to sleep and not actually have sex. It's not a place for you to eat or for you to actually watch television and hang out. You should be a sanctuary where you know that when you hit that bed, it's time for your body to say, okay, you got to train your body to say, okay, I'm on this bed right now. It's time for me to go to sleep. Okay? And most individuals lie in bed and they watch television. They put a timer on that television so when they fall asleep, the television is automatically cut off as well. I can tell you that in the last 2 weeks, I've had patients change their routine. And in 2 weeks, I say 80% of those individuals who stopped watching television in bed or just didn't even turn it on, or even took their television out of their bedroom, said that their sleep improved within 3 to 4 days. So that's major right there. And it's just I've done myself. But again, I'm saying that the studies are even more prolific as well. So again, let's go ahead and recap really quick before I go on and on and on. First, a routine for taking your supplements. You got to get that routine down and understand, all the facts and figures and things of that sort. And then hydration is key because if you're dehydrated when you're walking around, what's going to happen? You're setting yourself up to be in more pain, diabetes, hypertension, and actually it's any other illness or disease out there. You're just ready to actually absorb that as well. You don't want to do that. And lastly, the most important thing to make sure you get back to routine, especially back to school, is a good sleep routine. I've actually my older son. He goes to a cousin of his house. And he tells me, oh yeah, we were up to 2 o'clock in the morning playing video games. And of course, I get very angry. And the reason why, I know the importance of him getting the adequate amount of sleep. You're not saying he's not going to his cousin's house, but what I'm saying is, I tell him, hey, look, if you want to grow to be big and strong, if you want to be the smartest you can be, come on, let's get that mind resting, let's get that body resting and things there. So I know a lot of you kids, a lot of you guys' kids are sort of doing the same things because of the fact that, you're on vacation, but now it's time to get them back in that mode of waking up, being refreshed and actually start pumping their bodies full of nutrients. And, all throughout this week, next week, and also into next month, we're going to give you some guides. We're going to give you some recipes. We're going to give you different ways to actually enhance. And as I always say, these are simple health upgrades we want to give you guys, so your kids will be healthier, your entire family will be healthier, and everyone will be a lot happier as well. They're not expensive, not anything crazy. I just want to give you guys simple health upgrades to make sure that, you're improving your life on a daily basis. And that's what we're here for Alien Blaze Global. I'm gonna throw this out here really quick. I'm not seeing a lot of you guys with this feel my pain challenge. I want you guys to really get everyone to do this feel my pain challenge. I'm gonna start doing it here in the office. Well, a lot of my patients actually, because of the fact that a lot of people understand that I'm the quote unquote sickle cell doctor, but a lot of them don't understand what sickle cell really means. I've had quite a few patients ask me, of other ethnic groups, white, Jewish, things like that. So ask me, like, what is it? Why is it so important to me? And I have to sit there and explain it to them. So I want to show them, why it's so important to me and why individuals are in so much pain and things of that sort. So I want you guys to keep challenging each other. If you don't have sickle cell trait, please, if you have it, don't do it. But if you know someone who doesn't have it, film them doing it. Have them think about, wow, this is what your kid goes through, or this is what you go through, and you want to make sure that they understand that, man. You want to make sure that the awareness is out there, and that's the reason why ALS got all of this funding, over a course of 6 months, because of the fact that one style of video went viral. And that's what we want here. I'm not saying that I want the funding. I'm not getting any funding. I'm not a researcher from that perspective, but we want the awareness about sickle cell to be out there, because we're so lacking in so many different areas, guys, that I want you guys just to, push this out there as fast and hard as possible. Especially, next week is actually Sickle Cell Awareness Week, month. And we were pushing this thing hard. We were pushing so many different programs and products and things like that. It's really hard to make sure people understand that sickle cell disease is here, is prevalent, and just because you're Black, just because you're Latin, just because you're of different ethnic groups, you're not immune to it. So let's make sure that we teach everyone that we can. So again, Dr. Charlie Ware, your leading expert in natural pain management and other chronic diseases. Thank you. God bless.